And here we are once again in Jeff's shed. We're looking at the spares bike again, and there has been a little bit of progress this week. Because only only a little bit. And we've got two things done. We've got the blower brace.
We've got the plate done around the snout.
It's not quite finished yet, but it's there.
We might just have to pack it 1/4 of an inch off. Depends on how the bolt sits in there. It's only just basically.
But the main thing is it's been drilled, it's been slit, it's been prepped, and now it just needs a bolt in there and bolt into here, and it's done.
Yeah, the roller, it needs a couple of little bushes.
And then we've also got the roller, which is a tensioner for the belt drive. I'll just zoom in on there, and there's a roller there. And again, it's not quite there yet because that still needs a little bit of.
Yeah, so it's only just resting there just to see if it all was in the ballpark. Yeah. So when the frame, that work can be done once it's painted.
So does that still need a bearing in there? Does it?
There's bearings in there, but there are I think there's 15 or 17 ID. It's a 10mm bolt.
Right. So you just need a different bolt. Yeah.
So we've got to make a couple of little top hats, and a little spacer between the bearings, and then it'll be spaced appropriately.
Okay, and then on the other side of the bike, there's still a spacer to be made for the clutch cover, which I know has been a bit of a nightmare because the shape of it is not symmetrical top and bottom.
I can get on with it now. I've finished my work.
But let's look at that now then.
Well, basically, that's
it there.
That's going to go on the rotary table, and it'll be bolted to the spacer plates, so that we can basically follow them curves.
Yeah.
Between
so
the holes.
You've had to basically
make a couple of jigs up to hold them,
because that bend there is not the same as that bend there.
They are on a curve, but they're not from the centre. They're not.
So you've had to make this little disc here as a one-off piece.
It'll have to be offset once it's bolted to it. It'll have to be offset so it gives the right
curve, and then you can mill out this shape here.
I can just go around them with
So it sounds quite simple, but in fact you've had to make 2 or 3 other pieces before you can.
But it
takes time.
It's very you have to make so many bits and adapters to do it all. So we can get on with them now that we've got our work out of the way.
Yeah, making things for other people.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'll go and drink tea, and you can get on with that.
Right.
As usual. And here we have the head for the spares bike, which you've bought recently, haven't you, from eBay?
Off eBay, yeah.
And already you've changed it a wee bit because this bit here is different, isn't it?
The GPZ one, yeah. It's
this is a GPZ, is it?
It's a GPZ. Well, it's a. I think it could be an 1100 shaft head
But it's a more modern head, which
it's B1, B2.
And you've been busy profiling these.
A file of fins
to make it look a bit more retro.
To make it look like the early head.
Okay.
To give it a bit more elegance.
Already this has had a few changes because those cams are not standard cams, are they?
These are actually come with the 1327 kit, big bore kit that's going on the bike, hopefully.
Yeah.
And these are blower cams, turbo, supercharger cams.
So you got more lift and more.
I think the 2mm more lift. And I think there's more obviously more duration, yeah.
And we're going to have to change the cam sprockets as well.
We need some GPZ high-vol sprockets to go on, which
we have.
We have.
So that's no problem. And I also notice here, look, because these cams are so big, it actually hits the side of the case there, look.
Yeah, amazingly, the front one
works okay, just about.
It's okay, but the casting on the rear,
you can just see it there,
it just wants a small bit Dremel.
Zoom.
It's only a millimetre or if that.
So it's got to take a wee bit off there, and then we should be okay.
But we want to make sure when it's done we can get at least.
And once that's done, what else is going to happen to his head? Can plug it away?
No, just use a single plug for the moment. So we've got some stainless steel valves
to put in there.
It'll probably I might have to take it up to Rogers, and he can get all the valves lapped and ground to suit.
Okay.
Need some valves. I mean, probably better off not using standard valve springs.
No.
So we need a set of.
But other than that,
valve springs and.
But once that's done, it's ready to go, is it? It's all.
Basically, once it's all cleaned and that, it's ready to go on.
Okay. And over here, just in the corner, we can just see one of your last projects. These are. A start of some Conrods.
Conrods that were being made many years ago.
Yeah. And what's the idea then? You're going to take a standard Conrod. This is a standard Conrod from a.
That's out of a GPZ B1, B2, J.
And tell me again, what are you going to do with this particular Conrod?
Well, what we'll try and do is saw the rod off.
Yeah.
We'll do it with 4 of them, machine a mandrel up, bolt them to a mandrel that's pre-machined in the lathe, slide them on and with clamp them
tight, yeah,
and then hopefully machine them all to it specifically at the minute. So it doesn't matter on the size.
So you're going to machine these down a wee bit.
Yeah. Oh,
keep that, and they're going to be fitted, press fit into what these will become, which is the new Conrod.
We'll bore them with a cap. What we might have to do is on the wall is put a couple of small grooves, where to clear the bolts. Obviously, so they can't spin.
Now, okay, now they're not
the end of the rod.
These aren't hopefully for the spares bike. That's a bit too big for a spares bike. That's not needed for a spares bike.
No.
These are for something else, aren't they?
These are for our what we call the comp bike,
which is behind me here. Which one day we'll be running, hopefully before we're all dead.
So that's,
no doubt there's an awful lot of hours in that. So
there's a lot of hours work in it, and the trouble is when you're doing a job like this, if you get asked to do work
in the meantime,
and you get an odd half hour here and there,
it's not enough.
You need to switch off for a week or two to get all the work done.
Okay.
And that's the problem at the minute, finding the time to.
Well, our 27-minute long opus about the main pump back here. It may or may not be a part 2 in about a year's time, but we'll wait and see when the engine's done. So until then, we'll get back to the old spares bike, let me quick. It's over there. There it is there. And as I said, 650 there in the corner. That's the Cafe Racer for William. And then here is the bike we're talking about, which is the comp bike, which those Conrods will one day, hopefully, be inside of. Yeah, be inside of.
Well,
well, I won't hold my breath. So until then, we'll have to wait and see.